Good afternoon, people. My name is Roz. Shanita, Nita, Deep, whatever. I'm known by a lot of different things. This is my very first YouTube video. I don't expect to have a million hits. I don't expect to be some internet success or sensation. And I really don't even expect people to want to really stop and listen to what I'm saying because there's so many people that think they have valuable information to give. However, I was on Facebook and I saw a young lady's video which it spoke about how women give themselves to men unnecessarily and things of that nature. And I didn't even watch the full video because the first mistake that I heard was judging a man by how much he has in his pockets. Because first things first, how can you say that a man should have this in his pocket because he asked you out, or that in his pocket because he asked you out, if you in fact have nothing in your pocket? You have no room to say anything. And only if you do should you then make an assumption on that man's financial status. But it should not be how much money he has, but how much thought and effort he puts into making a relationship or a reality with you as a person. A lot of men, they're broke, especially in my particular age group, the 18 to 25 age group. It is what it is. They're broke because they're spending money trying to impress you with $70 jeans and $100 sneakers when you live at home with your mother. That in itself is the very first mistake. I live on my own. I do not have a lot of money because I live on my own. I'm a college student. But as a 23-year-old college student, I'm not going to say that my 23-year-old prospective mate should have a six-figure or even, I mean, honestly, yeah, well, five-figure is not very much, but still, a six-figure salary in the 23-year-old range is ridiculous to even assume that a man's going to have that much. And if your mind is primarily on what's in his pocket, you are not looking for a mate, you're looking for a financial benefactor. So, go find a sugar daddy. Because it makes women who are actually looking for a partner, actually seeking love, actually seeking this person to build a foundation of life with, it makes the rest of us look like we're only looking at what's in his pockets. And I can say from my own personal perspective that that's not the case. Is it important? Yes, because if you don't have any plans on building a foundation or a future at 23 or 25 or any age really beyond your teenage years, then you're probably not going to for a while. So you should first set your sights on someone who has likewise goals. It's not what he has, because that same guy who was a geek in high school that you laughed at and you tripped or you threw rotten milks at is the one who's making more money than you while you're playing catch up trying to get your shit together. The number one mistake that I feel like females make in a relationship is opening their legs. And I'll tell you why. Because someone told me a long time ago about this thing called being dickmatized. And to be dickmatized is when you are not interested solely in the man for who he is, but you're interested in the size of his dick. So you can go back and tell your girlfriends, oh, I got this good ass dick and it was so great and blah, da, 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 da. And like, for what? You got this good dick, but then you got the broke nigga, or you got the broke nigga who's giving that good dick to every Mary Jane Joanna. And you're stuck looking stupid like, oh, why is my man cheating on me? Because you're looking at his dick. Not who he is. If he approaches you and the first few conversations are primarily, yo, mom, listen, I could fuck the shit out you, like, da 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 da, and I can take you back here, and da 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 da. That's what his interest is. So you can't be mad that you've just developed a relationship with someone who only wants to fuck you because that's what you saw in your relationship. So that's what you got in your relationship. You can't be mad when you're only looking at a man for the amount of money he has and he treats you like a whore because you acted like a whore by exchanging your sex for his money. What is that? That's a whore. But see, we're led to believe in our society that this is what, as women, we are supposed to see. Now, I'm not going to come on here like some Sister Soldier type of bitch and say, oh, let's unite our women and let's all stand strong. You know why we can't stand strong? Because we're fucking gullible. We are gullible motherfuckers, and we do think emotionally before ration. And it's not to say that men think with all this logic, because they really don't. If you actually sit down and talk to most men, and I can say this because I was a dyke for 7 fucking years, and I'm 23. If you really sit down and have a conversation with men, they will tell you, like, if you really sit and just analyze their thought process. And I'm not bashing men because I'm not a man basher. I love men, not just in a sexual sense, but, you know, in a sense of camaraderie and brotherhood. I love men. Like, most of my friends are male. But if you really sit down and listen to the way most of them talk, they are emotional thinkers. They're just as emotional as we are. You know, there's no more, no less. It's pretty much the same. It's just that we're allowed to express it because society has this double standard that women can cry and men cannot. Just like society has this double standard that men can fuck 20 girls today and be a pimp. And, you know, if a woman fucks 2 guys in a month, she's a whore. And it is what it is. You can either accept society's rules or you can say fuck them. But most of you are going to accept them because most people are followers, even though they don't want to admit it. But my primary beef right now is all these girls with these videos like, oh, the men do this and men are wrong and this is what you should do. You can't fucking give advice to a woman on how to get a man when you don't have one. It is what it is. That's like asking a bum, excuse me, how can I get rich? Now, he can tell you how not to become a bum because he's a fucking bum. But he can't tell you this is how you go out and make some money. This is how you go out and get rich. Now, I know a lot of people are going to look at this video and probably give me some dislikes. Some people are going to crack. I don't give a fuck. Because most of you motherfuckers that's cracking, you cracking all this shit, talking all this bullshit, you don't have what I have. So you need to shut the fuck up and listen. I have a man. I have my own place. I go to a very nice college. I live in a pretty decent neighborhood. I have a decent income, and I'm 23. I'm not a whore. I have made some mistakes. All women make mistakes. Just like men make mistakes. We're human beings. But instead of really trying to teach and guide one another on how we can get through this, we tend to bash because of lack of self-esteem somewhere in our own personal lives that we need to grab a hold of and make different. This video is going to be the beginning, a preamble, if you will, of future video diaries that I would like to offer to women as some type of advice. And it's not biased advice, and if you don't like my opinion, you're welcome to YouTube a fucking Waka Flocka video, because I'm sure he's going to give you some vital information on how to live your life. But in the meantime, I can give you perspective from experience that I have lived personally. I've played the victim. I've played the aggressor. I've played a lot of different roles. And at this point in my life, I'm ready to play the role of me. And I'm ready to be myself. And I'm ready to shed things that leave me close to the person that I know I have the potential to be. Because I'm absolutely ready to reach my full potential of the person who I know I am. I'm not perfect. I smoke weed. I get drunk. I have anger issues. I do a lot of imperfect things. But the number one thing that I can say that I do at this point is recognize what I do wrong. And in recognizing where you fuck up is how you fix it. So with that, this is my first video. Thank you very much, YouTube.